I'm going to take this mic over. That's better, isn't it? And this is the key feature that I want to speak to you about tonight. 58 years of service since Rosanna won that fantastic by-election back in 1995. And I want you to get this into your heads. They are not going to take that back. They are not going to take this away from us. We are going to hold the seat, and we are going to hold the seat well, and we are not going to let the Tories come back. Now, I want to say a few words which might just get you fired up a little bit. And one of the things is the way that they are arrogantly predicting that they will take the seat. Have you seen the literature? Have you seen the stuff in the newspapers? We will win Perth and North Perthshire. Wishart's time as the MP here is on a short lease. They are just presuming that they will take the seat, and we will have a message for them that they will have one hell of a fight in their hands if they think they're going to do this. This arrogantly predicting that they're going to take this. This is something that they will regret. And there's two other words I want to put to you, which I think will fire you up and enthuse you to go out there and do the job. One is Murdo, and the second word is Fraser. And if you see, I follow Murdo's Twitter feed, you should do it, you know, and some of the amazing, incredible things he was saying is again another great reason, a way to get you enthused about getting out the door. But we're at the council election count. It started off really badly. The results were coming in. We were at 15% swing to the Tories in one ward and the other ward, and Murdo was tweeting away, you know, this is a rout. We're skinning the SNP. Then, of course, the results from the city centre started coming in, and we won every single ward in the city centre and gained 2 councillors. All of a sudden, there was silence from Murdo. So let's silence Murdo again by ensuring that we win handsomely this election. Because there will be nothing more pleasurable and enjoyable than all of us being at the Bell Sports Centre and Murdo staring at his feet with another defeat after losing 9 times previously. Let's give him his 10th one to celebrate. How about that, folks, yeah? And I also want to thank Alison Thewlis for coming out tonight. You could have had a pin drop when Alison was speaking. And Alison is representative of the quality of new members of Parliament that we secured in the House of Commons in the past 2 years. Now, I remember them all turning up, saying, what do we do? Do we stand up? How do you make a speech? Is it all right to intervene? All of them reticent, some of them nervous, some of them unsure of what they're doing. 2 years on, they're all standing for re-election, and it is the finest group of parliamentarians that Scotland has ever produced. You should be proud of every single one of them and the way that they've stood up for Scotland and the way that they have matured into seasoned parliamentarians who take on this Tory government just like Alison Thewlis does. Every single one of my 53 colleagues as they are, 2 new ones to come in, down there with us once again. And how about getting some extra ones too? Ian Murray, surely he's gone now after the Lundell we were getting here. So why limit our ambition to 56? I think there's a good case to get 59. In for that one, yeah? That's what we want to hear. So folks, we are getting there. And I'll tell you a couple of things which I'm observing about this campaign. This is the strangest election campaign I've been in. This is the 5th election I've fought since 2001. And we've been up against it before. In 2005, I thought was a really, really tough election for the Scottish National Party. I became the Member of Parliament for the City of Perth. And at that point, Annabel Ewing had the smallest majority in the whole of the United Kingdom. She only won by 48 votes in 2001. And I remember it was a similar type of campaign where the Tories were once again telling us, Pete Wishart's toast, we're going to get him, it's going to be a Tory Member of Parliament for Perth. And they threw absolutely everything at it. The Tories were in opposition at that point. Michael Howard was leader. I couldn't walk up and down Perth High Street without tripping over Michael Howard. I remember the shadow cabinet. So they threw absolutely everything at us in that election. I was told that I even started believing them. I thought, they could probably take the seat. But we won. And we won by 1,300 votes. After that, I was told once again, Pete Wishart's going to lose his seat in 2010. We're going to take the seat he's had it this time. I trebled my majority in that in 2010. Again, 2015, against all expectations, they were saying to us, Pete Wishart's had it this time. We're going to beat him when he's out. I doubled my majority. We now have, in this constituency, in Perth North Perthshire for Westminster, a majority of 10,000 with 50% of the vote. Now, to win this seat, we have to hold on to most of that. I think in order to win, we'll need about 43 to 44% of the share of the vote in Perth North Perthshire. It's totally a two-horse race. Perth North Perthshire is unlike any other constituency in the whole of Scotland. There is absolutely a straight fight between the SNP and the Tories. Labour and the Liberals will get less than 10% of the vote at this election. It's us versus them. And what we heard from Alison Thewlis this evening, and what we hear from all my colleagues, is the thing that we have to communicate as powerfully and profoundly as possible. We have got to explain the true nature of what this Conservative government has become and describe and define the agenda they have in place for the people of Scotland. This is a truly reprehensible, obscene, appalling Conservative government. And what they have planned for the people of Scotland is almost beyond reason at what they're intending to do. It's a nasty, right-wing government who are looking to crush all opposition in front of them so they can have a huge majority in order to pursue this agenda. All the stuff about calling a snap election to unite the country is a load of utter bollocks. It has nothing whatsoever to do with uniting the country around their agenda. It is everything about cynically, opportunistically taking advantage of the crisis, chaos and shambles in Jeremy Corbyn's Labour Party. That is why they've called that election. There's another reason why they've called this. They know that their Brexit negotiations, where they're at a stage just now where they can safely tuck them away and hide them, will fall down dramatically in the midsummer the minute European Union leaders tell them no, and they dictate the type of terms that they're going to have. So they know this is all coming. They know that they're going to have deep difficulties and troubles as they prosecute this hard Brexit, leaving the European Union without any negotiated deal, and all that's coming to bear in the next few weeks and months. And that is why they're desperate to have this election just now. So don't let them tell you anything about calling this election to unite the country. And the other thing about the Tories is their campaign. I have never seen such a dishonest campaign as this Tory campaign. Now, it's no different from the council election. And you'll have seen all the stuff that's going through your letterboxes just now. And it's the same thing. No to a second independence referendum and get back on the day job. Now I go around the doors when people come to me and they say this, and I say, well, look at my leaflets. How many times do I mention a second independence referendum? I think there's once in my leaflet. How many times do the Tories mention it in their literature? 22 times. And it's all about trying to appropriate the concerns of people who do have issues about our constitutional future. They're trying to get them to buy in to this appalling, hard, right-wing agenda. The people of Scotland have been sold a pup, they've been lied to and they've been misappropriated, and we cannot let them get away with this. When they are on the doorstep, you speak to them and say, the only reason they're talking about this all the time is to cover up this constitutional smokescreen about their agenda and their record, and you get it back onto talking about what they're trying to do and what they're becoming. And that's the thing that they hate. They cannot stand the fact that they're reminded about what they've become and what they're about to do. So get them back onto that agenda. And I'm pretty certain, folks, that if we are able to do that, we'll be able to turn this round quite adequately, because they do not want to talk about their policies in this general election. It's the only general election I know and I fought where there is no scrutiny, no questioning of the government at all. Now, Rosanna Cunningham mentioned this. Theresa May was going to be coming to Perth today. She was coming to Perth. We managed to find out she was coming to Perth. We managed to find out what time she was coming to Perth, and we managed to think about getting a nice little bit of a welcoming for her. The minute that she found out, that we found out, was the minute she cancelled it and went to Edinburgh instead. Because this is a Prime Minister who does not want any scrutiny, who does not answer any questions, who holds all sorts of public meetings with invited audience, with pre-arranged questions from journalists. And I've never ever seen this before in a general election campaign. She does not want to discuss it, and you could tell why. She would never dream for a minute of debating with Nicola Sturgeon the way that Nicola did that last night. So this is a general election contest where we talk about everything in Scotland other than the government that's running this. So get that back onto their agenda and get that back onto their attention. Now, I'm going to finish just by saying to you a couple of things about what we're going to do and what we're going to be doing in the course of the next few weeks. This is the fight of our lives. This is going to be the election which will either secure our ongoing progress in Scotland and in Perthshire. Perth and North Perthshire is where the high water mark of the incoming Tory tide stops. Where either, if you look at electoral calculus on one side of it or the other side, it is right on the margins. And I'll predict to you that we will win or lose the seat by less than 1,000 votes. It's going to be that close. We've got to make sure it's the right side of that 1,000. If we win this contest, we will go forward and we will progress and we will be able to turn back the Tories at the next opportunity. So it's vitally important, not just for what the work that we've done in the course of the past 20 years, it's vitally important for the rest of this party, for our prospects and our ability to deliver for Scotland, that we hold the seat. Now, I've had magnificent support from colleagues right across the country. Having Alison up here today is great. I've had busloads coming in from Dundee. I've had ministers coming to help me and come out canvassing and campaigning with me. I need you guys to do that too. One little last bit of effort to hold the line. We are holding the line in Scotland in this constituency. If we lose here, we could be lapped right over and a number of other ones could fall too. Let's hold it. Let's say, you might be arrogant with predicting that you're going to win this, but we are going to show you one thing, that you will not take this seat and take this constituency. We will fight to the last breath and we will get round every single door and do everything we possibly can to stop them. We deserve this, folks. We deserve to win because of the way that we worked in this constituency, the way that council colleagues have defiantly and constructively put forward agendas, the way that you have spent days in, days out and years making sure that this constituency is defended. We deserve and we require to win. It's important not just for this area, but for the whole of our country, the whole of our movement, that this line in the sand is held. I want you to work with me. You will get nothing other than absolute effort and commitment from me. I've been out practically 5 hours per day and we've done loads and loads of things, but we're fighting an amazing campaign and we're dominating the agenda and we're getting the press attention and we're turning people around. Help me, people. Help me hold this seat. We want this to win. We will win, and together, just that little bit of effort, that little bit of supreme little bit of movement again, we can do this. And I'm absolutely certain and confident, if we get out there, we will triumph and we will win. And I want to be standing with you in the morning of 9th of June, hand in the air, held this seat and held it well. Work with me, let's do it, let's get out there, let's win! Yeah!